What's up, guys? My name is Anna. Welcome back to another video of my Skyblock adventures. Today I just woke up and yeah, I do have to admit the title may be a little bit of a lie. I need to be at work soon, so we're just going to get right into it, pretty much the most minimalist of editing possible. And hopefully I don't pause while making this video, because if I do, this is going to be a really long time. I'm gonna be very late for work. Oh man, I can't edit that one out. See what I mean? Awful. Anyhow, I yesterday went to Applebee's. I was there for like 6 hours, the longest I've ever been to Applebee's before this, right? With a good friend of mine, who's also happens to be my coworker. And we were there, and the reason we were there was because his girlfriend had a little bit of a stalker, a little bit of a weirdo, a little bit of a pervert, it's alright, it's all good. Those kinds of things happen all the time. But this guy was affecting our lives, so obviously that means that things were a big no-no. So we gave this guy the old 1-2, the old 2-1. We decided, what, we're going to go to Applebee's on Sunday, because that's when our shift is, and we're going to stop them. So we're going to change some names on this story. So my friend, we're going to call him Finkleberry. His girl we'll call Blueberry, and the perv we're gonna call Blackberry. Okay, so Finkleberry was ready. He's not. What you gotta know is Finkleberry. He's not exactly the most. He's not exactly the most muscular guy. He's on the skinnier side, he's allergic to a lot of things, so you could put that image in your mind, right? So he wanted backup, he wanted to scare this guy. We didn't know who this guy was, so he asked me, he's like, yo, Anner, I'm gonna need some backup on Sunday, can you come? And I was like, you know what? No, unless you pay for my food. And to that, he said no. But my coworkers were able to convince him, like, hey, Anna, maybe you should go, but then they said, and yeah, Finkleberry, you should pay for his food. So I got a free meal out of it, which was fantastic and dandy. And let me tell you, like, I was not the most hype. I will admit it. Like, I was hype, like, afterwards, because I was getting free food. But like, I was worried that I was worried that it was going to be like a just very dramatic thing. I had nothing to worry about. It was completely great. It was fine. I got a fun story out of it. But anyway, we're at Applebee's. We're eating. We're chatting. We got there. He wasn't there. Just straight up. Like, he was going every Sunday for the past 3 months. And this Sunday, he just was not there. So we were kind of just eating food, chilling. I got to meet his girl, which was Blueberry, and she, by the way, very nice gal, very nice, very sweet. We're probably gonna go on double dates soon. She's very nice. I was not ready for that kind of niceness, It truly did throw me off guard. Oof. So we were just there chatting, and then me and her were chatting, and me and him were chatting, and us three all were chatting, me, Finkleberry, and Blueberry. And then you're not gonna believe this. The guy walks in. He walks in late, for the first time in 3 months, this guy walks in late. And we thought someone tipped him off, but no, he actually came just a little bit later. And the most unbelievable part for all of this, right, is that most unbelievable part, Finkleberry knew this guy. He knew Blackberry. Can you believe that? Like all this time, we were like, oh, he's a skinnier kid and all this stuff. He actually knew Blackberry, which was insane. Like, none of us was expecting that one. Big twist. So, through this, we were like, holy crap, this changes everything. So then, me and him were talking. He was like, I can't believe I actually know this guy. My dad used to be his bowling coach. And so then I was telling him, like, you could mess this guy's up. You can mess this guy's life up more than you know. You just gotta go up to him like, hey, listen, you and me, cut the crap. You're perving on my girl. I ain't into that. I ain't liking that. I can't have that. And yeah, and he did not say any of those things. He said stuff that were extremely cooler than what I said. All right. So he eventually time goes back on, and he goes, all right, you know what? It's enough chit chatting. It's time to get down to business, right? So he's about to leave the table, and I ask him like, hey, do you still want me to back you up? And he looks at me dead in the eyes, and he goes, nah, man, I can take this plucker. So then he goes. I see him go, and he starts chatting to this guy. And this whole time, Finkleberry, his eyes are dead set on this guy. Locked in. Meanwhile, Blackberry, he's shaking. He's shaking his boots, right? The Blackberry, just so for context, is skinnier than Finkleberry. So it absolutely changes this whole game. Like, no one was expecting this kind of battle to set forth. But they had that shot, and then, he walks back to me, and he's like, the deed has been done. Like he just killed a guy. And I asked him, well, what happened? And he's like, all you have to know is that hopefully we never have to have this talk again. And then I told him, buddy, I drove 45 minutes to get over here. There ain't no way you're going to leave me without any details. So, so he starts saying what he did. He starts saying he got up to her, he went up to her, and started, he started chatting. Started doing a little bit of the chit chat, the talky talk. And, and then he starts saying, how he went up to, and he's like, oh, do you know me? And the guy was like, oh, no, not really. I don't remember. He's like, oh, really? Because, my dad, he actually used to be your bowling coach. And then that kind of jogged this guy's memory a little bit. He was like, oh, yeah, I do know you. And then someone else came and said, hey, another waiter came by that was friends of Blueberry, and she was like, hey, I wanted the scoop. So we had to restart the story, saying what I just told you again. But now we added the details, that this guy was shaking the whole time. Saying that like you're making my girl very uncomfortable, and she's not interested in you. You need to get the pluck out of here, things like that. And then his girl comes, and then she goes, I want to know the scoop. So we had to say the whole story over again, but he does, and this time he mentions that that he was trying to convince him that he was actually her friend, and that's when Finkleberry goes, cut the crap, no you ain't. And you better leave this establishment at once, and you better never return. Like, this guy is some super villain, which I mean he basically is. And yeah, and then they had that chat, and then that was pretty much it. After that, the Blackberry didn't even bother looking at the guy again. And yeah, it was quite a nice time. I didn't have to do anything at all. There was really no reason for me to be there, but nonetheless, I was very happy I went, because I got to enjoy a great meal with some great folks, and yeah, like overall it was a nice time. I got to chill. I got to talk to him. We haven't talked like that in a while, and yeah, that's really about it. I stayed there till like, I think it was like 11:45 p.m. and then got home at like 12:15 a.m. and by that point I was exhausted. And I was about to make the video, but then I just didn't because I was so tired. I just kind of laid in bed, but luckily I woke up early enough to actually record, which is very nice of me to do. And yeah, so this is my life right now. Also, for those who don't know, we're in December, baby. We're in December. The advent calendar's out, so I was able to complete it right before the start of this video. And December is all about being grateful. Well, I guess it's really Thanksgiving, but in different words. But December is all about having nice, giving gifts, season of giving. So make sure to log on to Skyblock, give some gifts. Just feel good about yourselves, and yeah, go around, be happy and jolly. I absolutely love. If there's anything you guys need to know about me, I love the month of December. December is my favorite month of the year. Everything snow starts coming down. It's supposed to snow tomorrow. It's gonna be fire. And yeah, no, I'm hyped, guys. I am absolutely hyped for this month. And in this month, I have to say, Aura, you suck. But you know what? Thank you for giving us more XP. You know what? We'll come to an agreement. You're kind of a fantastic guy. Still though, fuck you. Anyhow. That's gonna be the end of today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. And if you're gonna take anything out of this video, please don't announce stalking. You know, don't stalk. Don't stalk. Don't be a pervert. That is unacceptable. I do not like it. Am I doing anything by saying this message in my video? I don't know. I hope I am. But like, if you get anything out of this video, don't be a pervert. Let's be real, guys. That's not cool. That's not fun. And yeah, that's about it. So. Subscribe!